Driving a vehicle worth almost $500,000 is an incredible method for standing out, particularly from law implementation. During our first drive of the 2022 Rolls-Royce Ghost Black Badge, an off-base get some distance from the modified drive course took us close to the US-Mexico line and handled an unexpected experience with a modest bunch of concerned boundary watch specialists. In principle, the black badge and its all-dark stylish should have flown under the radar better than a chrome-plated out Rolls with shimmering paint. In any case, when a line watch specialist hanging over the window of a Volkswagen Vento got a brief look at this evil vehicle, it didn't take long for us to get hailed into a migration designated spot. In the wake of clarifying that the armada of $500,000 all-dark ghosts wandering the region was, indeed, not a film reprobate meetup, they ultimately let us go. While this experience fortunately didn't heighten, it demonstrated that even a good ways off, the Ghost Black Badge is immediately unmistakable as something costly with a foreboding stylish. This 2022 model is the second era of the Ghost to get the Black Badge treatment. In any case, this time around, the British carmaker gave this car something beyond a power knock, broadly changing its suspension parts and making a genuinely lively vehicle simultaneously. The recognizable 6.8-liter V12 underhood currently puts out 591 drive and 664 pound-feet, denoting a 28 HP and 37 lb-ft increment over the standard Ghost. Like the standard vehicle, a ZF obtained 8-speed programmed courses the capacity to every one of the four wheels. Like the Cullinan Black Badge, the Ghost highlights Rolls-Royce's low mode, basically the brand's game mode. In the Ghost, low mode retunes the transmission to move up to 50% quicker when you crush the choke past 90%. The consequence of the refreshed powertrain and retuned transmission is a 0 to 60 miles per hour season of 4.5 seconds. Making it 1/10 of a second faster than the standard vehicle. Practically speaking, the Ghost Black Badge rockets off the line, with top force showing up between 1,700 to 4,250 RPM, while its force conveyance is almost indistinguishable from that of the standard vehicle. The lively low mode and its speedy movements cause the Black Badge's speed increase to feel more sensational when you have your foot in it. In any case, in and out of town in ordinary driving conditions, low mode's belongings are almost indistinct since you'll once in a while utilize in excess of 90% choke. The bigger air springs found in the Black Badge firm up its suspension impressively, keeping the Ghost stable in any event, while slushing its monstrous 5,500 lb body around certain curves. Similarly as with the expansion of low mode, the progressions to the suspension are vague in the city, with the Black Badge staying as agreeable as you'd expect a Rolls-Royce to be. One more update that stays concealed until pushed is the all-new exhaust framework. In most driving situations, the Black Badge is no stronger than the standard vehicle. In any case, with low mode drew in, taking off the choke uncovers some BMW-style flies from the exhaust. While they are inconspicuous, the pop's low recurrence permits them to pervade the lodge. As far as halting power, the Ghost Black Badge continues the brakes from the standard model. Rolls-Royce's architects raised the brake pedal's nibble point and decreased its movement, however, went altogether too far, attempting to make dialing back as lively as accelerating. Push the brakes and you'll get minimal introductory reaction, requiring an appropriate step to get great halting power. In spite of what its name may suggest, the 2022 Rolls-Royce Black Badge is accessible in any shading you can imagine, albeit the carmaker offers $44,000 to begin. Novel. To this most recent emphasis of the Black Badge is the black diamond finish. Included 5 layers, this new shading requires 100 pounds of paint. In person, the dim completion has outrageous profundity and sparkle, particularly outside in normal light, coordinating up pleasantly with the Black Badge's dim trim. While it might show up so in photographs, Rolls-Royce didn't select to paint the Black Badge's trim pieces in shine dark. All things being equal, the British carmaker uses a technique that acquaints a chrome electrolyte with the cycle they ordinarily use to chrome plate treated steel. The chrome assimilates this new component and obscures all the while. The objective is to forestall these trim pieces from chipping over the long haul as they would with conventional paint. The Black Badge's 21-inch wheels include barrels contain 22 layers of carbon fiber collapsed onto themselves, making 44 absolute layers. While the decrease in unsprung weight will not be felt in a 5,500 lb car, they make for a redesign that is amusing to take a gander at and simple to gloat about. As even the Boundary Watch specialists saw, our Black Badge analyzer conveyed an evil tasteful that orders consideration. Around evening time, the all-dark look permits different components in the Ghost's plan, for example, its LED headlights and tail lights, to stick out. Venturing into the 2022 Rolls-Royce Ghost uncovers the broad utilization of a material that isn't normally connected with the brand's insides, carbon fiber. Be that as it may, rather than using the kind of weave design you'd hope to find in a games vehicle, the British carmaker concocted its own. The precious stone-style weave consolidates metallic strands, so the material sparkles, giving it a conspicuous stylish. Its execution makes it difficult to tell that it's carbon initially. Notwithstanding, its sparkle looks without a doubt costly, impeccably fitting the Black Badge's tasteful. Fortunately, the presentation-situated redesigns of the Black Badge did exclude modifying its seats. As you'd expect with an almost $500,000 sticker price, the Ghost is agreeable, paying little mind to where you sit. Forthright, the warmed and cooled 10-way customizable seats are gigantic yet strong in the appropriate spots. The Ghost Black Badge continues the standard model's computerized measures and infotainment screen, which uses BMW's iDrive framework as its base. Worked by contact or the dial in the mid-control area, Rolls-Royce's adaptation of the framework is not difficult to explore, taking into account speedy changes while moving. The main downside of the route framework is its shading plan, which makes it hard to follow headings initially. Fortunately, Apple CarPlay comes standard, in spite of the fact that it is just available through a wired association. Android Auto isn't so much as a choice. As tried, the 2022 Rolls-Royce Ghost Black Badge we drove comes in at $484,950. This huge aggregate beginnings with the $332,500 you'll require for the standard Ghost. The Black Badge bundle then, at that point, adds $43,850 and incorporates the refreshed powertrain, suspension, and wheels referenced prior. The 100lb black diamond paint is the following most costly choice at $12,525, while the super agreeable seats cost $10,775. Finish things off with shading, differentiating calfskin, outdoor tables, and redesigned umbrellas, and you end up with an aggregate of $152,450 in discretionary additional items over a standard Ghost. According to an evaluating point of view, the Ghost Black badge doesn't have an unmistakable contender. For instance, the Bentley Flying Spur begins at $219,425, while the Mercedes Maybach S650 is less expensive at $202,550. Therefore, the Ghost stands above and beyond $100,000 over its nearest rival. In any case, that doesn't mean it's a six-figure improvement over the others. As far as extravagance, its less expensive opponents verge on coordinating with the Ghost's ride quality, material decision, and refinement. Notwithstanding what sets the Rolls-Royce separated is the means by which it executes that thin edge that winds up having a significant effect. With its expanded motor, overhauled suspension, and broad utilization of novel materials, the Black Badge impeccably strolls a flimsy line between a driver-centered extravagance vehicle and a super very good quality car.